Adejoke. Good
Good
evening.
evening, Alina.
How are you doing today?
Good. And you?
All right, so do we start now or give a few minutes for more followers to join?
Yeah, I think we can wait for more people to join.
Okay. Hello, everyone that's here. Hi, Olutayo. Hope you're all having a good day. So, as we go through the live, please feel free to comment any questions you have for Adejoke to answer. Just write it in the comment section and I'll read out for her. Or you can use the question tag as well. Okay, I think we should start now. So, hi, Adejoke. Can you please tell us what got you interested in nutrition and tell us about your journey so far as a public health nutritionist?
Okay, thank you, Alima. Um, I'm very delighted to be here. And I think during the chat in the morning, I spoke briefly about my journey in human nutrition and in public health nutrition. But yes, my journey in public health nutrition started during my undergraduate studies in the University of Ibadan. Where I did my bachelor's degree I got my bachelor's degree in human nutrition and dietetics. Then I moved on
Okay.
to get my master's degree in human nutrition. So my journey started in my undergraduate days when I realized that nutrition is quite important to achieving health outcomes. And the nutrition sector is a very interesting one and is somewhere that I can make impact in. So it all started in undergraduate days, and ever since I graduated, I've tried as much as possible to stay in the public health nutrition space. I've been educating myself. I've been volunteering in different positions across different organizations. I've been positioning myself to be able to provide solutions to nutrition problems in the organizations that I join. So yes, you can just call me a public health nutritionist.
Yeah, okay. So please give us some more details on the volunteering aspect of your public health nutrition journey.
Okay, so when I graduated from my department in UI, I was very eager to get into the development sector and do nutrition. But what I found out was before you can join the development sector, you need to have garnered some experiences. So it was important for me to gain experiences by volunteering. So I started volunteering with NGOs around me, and that also helped to sharpen my skills because I had the theoretical knowledge from school, but I had not really put it into use in practical aspects. So working with the NGOs helped me to gain quite a number of skills. It helped me to put my skills to work. It helped me to be able to work on the field, especially. I was also able to plan programs, design programs, implement programs, monitor, and even evaluate the programs that we engage in. So that has been volunteering for me. And it has been fun because I've learned a lot of things beyond the classroom, things you won't even learn in the classroom until you get to the field. So I've learned it hands-on on the job, and I'm still learning. So that has been my volunteering experience so far.
Okay, so would you recommend volunteering to a young nutrition professional or anyone who's training to be of impact in the nutrition sector?
I think that's even the first point of call. I think for any nutrition professional, anybody who's interested in the nutrition field as a nutritionist and you're young, it's quite unfortunate that a lot of positions, or a lot of big organizations don't have entry level roles for young nutritionists. So it is quite important, if you know that you want to stay in this field. It is, in fact, it's almost like a survival. You just have to volunteer, because that's where you gather those skills. That's where you can have the confidence to say that I've done this, I've done that, and you would even have learned a lot of field skills. So it is important. It is something I always recommend. Any any organization that you can find yourself, try as much as possible to put your skill to use. Try as much as possible to really, really get into the legwork. Yes, the legwork, so to say, on the field.
I think that's great advice. Thank you. So let's get straight into the flesh of today's conversation. What do you think about youth and innovation, especially in the food and nutrition sector?
Okay. Personally, for me, I think the youth in the nutrition sector are doing a lot. I know that a couple of youths are popular now because of what they're doing. That's because their ideas have seen the light of day. But I've related with quite a number of young nutritionists, and I can tell you that there's so much more ideas, so much more innovative ideas in the minds of a lot of nutritionists, because the thing about the nutrition field is um, it's easy to be passionate about nutrition. So when you find young people that are passionate about solving nutrition problems, they are not just passionate, they also have solutions to problems. So you see them talking about how they can improve nutrition with this idea, with all that idea. So I think that in this field, if we harness the innovation of the youth, we would gain a lot, because a lot of people have innovative ideas in this sector.
Okay. So how do you, as a youth, how do you use your voice to bring to light the effects of hunger and malnutrition, especially on other youth and young women in Africa?
Okay, so I work with Impact Nutrition Africa, and one thing that we do is nutrition education. So we use the power of the social media to educate the general populace about what's going on in nutrition sector, and particularly the extent of malnutrition in Nigeria, in Africa generally. So it's something that has helped us to spread this information. For those of us in the nutrition sector, sometimes we feel like, oh, it's general knowledge. Everybody knows that a lot of people, children are malnourished, oh, this percentage. But that's because we are in the field. A lot of people out there don't even have this information. Sometimes when you tell people hunger, when you try to get the definition of hunger, what people know as hunger is not what nutritionists call hunger. When you talk about
Yeah,
eating hunger,
yeah, they're talking about
it's a
hunger
different
pants.
thing. When you just say hunger, or people say because you're hungry, you have the need, you want to eat. But that's not what we understand as hunger. Hunger is deeper than that for us. So what we do at Impact Nutrition Africa is we try to educate people. We try to use social media to educate and give latest trends. And I'm very aware of so many organizations that are doing that also. There are so many other NGOs that are constantly putting out information out there that this is the problem that we have in the nutrition sector now, and this is how we can improve it. So yes, that is part of how I use my voice, because I work with Impact Nutrition Africa in doing that also.
Okay, so speaking of using social media to like further the cause of nutrition, how do we counteract those using the same social media to spread false information, information that is not completely evidence based? Because these days there are a lot of people who just come up and refer to themselves as nutritionists. Like anyone can open an Instagram page, anyone can start posting information. So how do you think that an audience member can separate the wheat from the chaff? Basically, how do you know who knows their stuff?
Okay, to start with, I think there's a general misconception about what nutrition is about. I don't like to talk about the quacks so much, because I think we're giving them unnecessary attention. But yes, to separate the shaft from the real thing, we have to talk about it. The first thing I say is, when you see somebody who calls themselves a nutrition professional, you ask them for their certifications. I mean, you ask this person, do you have a BSc in human nutrition? Do you have MSc in human nutrition? Do you have a PhD in nutrition? So if you tell me that you have an online course of 2 weeks in nutrition and that certifies you as a nutritionist, automatically I won't take you serious. I won't take you seriously because you are not serious. So I feel like people should not just get swayed with information that is I don't want to call it propaganda. There are some claims that people make. You don't just get swayed. Look at
Yes.
the messenger. Look at the person sending the message. Who's this person? What credentials does this person have? Where did they study? What did they study? If you look at my own Instagram bio, I put it right there on my bio that I have a BSc and an MSc in human nutrition. I'm clear about it. I'm not shady. I
Goals.
studied human nutrition, so you can be sure that I know my onions. So I would always
Yeah.
advise the general public to look at the certification of the person talking to them about nutrition first before they even listen to the message. I think you should really, really check the messenger first.
What happens when the messenger seems genuine? For instance, we have other healthcare professionals, especially in Africa, that we don't really know of nutrition as a field on its own. So when you see another healthcare professional, like off the top of my head, maybe a doctor or a nurse that's pushing nutrition information that may not be fully accurate, how do you think we can counteract this?
Okay, that can be a little tricky because I know that it's not only nutrition that suffers that, but I always say that it depends on the professional in question. I believe that the other health professionals should understand that there are nutrition professionals. There are people that studied human nutrition for 5 years, for 4 years, for 7 years, and that's the only thing they've studied. So I would assume that they would, give a disclaimer that even after this information I'm giving, you should reach out to a nutritionist. But in Nigeria currently, that will probably take a while, and we are patient because when people give out nutrition claims, it's easy when you're talking about some easy diseases. But when you get into the core disease that requires a genuine nutritionist, that's where they get stuck, and you don't really have a choice. You have to just refer to a nutritionist at that point. So I feel like we're patient. We'll keep pushing out the right information for the genuine nutritionist. I think we should also fill the social media space with genuine information, not just saying that there are too many quacks. If there are too many quacks, what are the alternatives that we're giving them? So we should fill this space with genuine information also, such that when we tell people not to follow the quacks, so who should they follow? They should follow the genuine ones. Where are the
Yeah,
content?
that's a great
So I
point.
think that
That's
nutritionists
a great
also have
point.
to really, really work hard at that.
Okay, so apart from visibility and taking up space on social media, how can the youth or the young nutrition professionals, how can we position ourselves in decision-making rooms when it comes to food and nutrition policy formation? Because policy is an important area. Once, like, once it's not set up from the top, it will not work all the way down. You get what I mean?
Okay, nutrition is a very wild discipline, and I feel like nutrition is very wide. And for youth that are passionate about nutrition, depending on where you want to plug in your passion, you can actually create awareness to even get the attention of the policymakers. Let's talk about when we're talking about the food chain, when we're talking even about agriculture. So you are somewhere in food production, you're involved in food production, and you're a nutritionist and you want to get the attention of people towards your product, you can key into that. And you can also try to explain problems maybe around the choice of diets that people have and how your product is a better offer. And you can highlight the challenges or the problems or the other unhealthy choices. That's something that innovative and creative storytelling, innovative and creative social media approaches could help with. Also, as a youth, you could plug into the food processing sector. You could even plug into the behavior of people towards food. So nutrition is very wide, depending on where you want to go to. Also, you can even plug into food safety. I always talk about food safety, that food safety is a big deal in Nigeria. And if you are if we as
Yes, it is.
innovative youths, I was telling some of my colleagues, yeah, just yesterday, that we need some food safety police. So if you are innovative as a youth and you want to use social media to draw the attention of the policymakers, you could go into the market and you could do videos,
Yeah.
you could do a survey of the unhealthy food safety practices that sellers engage in, and you could put it up on social media and highlight the problems associated with this and how policies can make it better. So that's also using social media. You could talk about people's behavior to some junk foods and how policies can help to make that better. I was talking about the sugar sweetened beverage tax this morning, and I was saying that
Yeah.
I'm not even sure a lot of Nigerians know the reason why the government did that, because it's a nutrition thing. It's not just a taxing thing. It's a nutrition financing thing. It's something that is supposed to make people to um, select better choices of food and make the junks, so-called junks, make them expensive. So, I mean, youth can innovate around sending these messages across to people, getting them to understand all of this. So it's a lot. Nutrition is wide, depending on where you want to really plug yourself into. Nutrition is wide, is young, and I feel like youth can just jump on any part they want.
All right. Thank you. So we as nutrition professionals, we know that the state of hunger and malnutrition continues to worsen in Africa. But do you think we are on the right path to fixing it? And if not, what do you think we are doing wrong?
We're not, because our indices are not improving. And I think the pandemic even took us years back. We were making some little progress, and then the pandemic took us back. Malnutrition problem in Africa is a very complex problem, and it needs holistic approach, which is why I really, really enjoy the latest approach of the food systems, because it all boils down to our food system. So I feel like with the new discussions around the food system, yes, maybe we might make progress in this decade, or maybe half of this decade. If we really take the food system serious, maybe we might make some progress. But so far, it's been, I wouldn't call it stagnant. I think the pandemic even took us back.
Yeah, I think the pandemic caused havoc in every area of life. Yeah, so Africa has a lot of indigenous foods, indigenous diets that are very nutritious, but most of us, especially those of us on the younger side, we view them as backward. How do you think we can change this perception?
Creative education. I think to even start with, our population, we're becoming health conscious now. So I don't think, I understand that maybe youth can see some diets as backward, but I think people are conscious of what they eat now and how nutritious it is. So if we get creative around the presentation of this food, and we say, I'm trying to think of an example of an ingenious food. You need to see the hype around amala on Twitter, or you need to see the hype
Yeah,
around jollof rice on the social
yeah, with
media.
all the
Yes,
countries going to war over who has the
who would have
best
thought
jollof.
that
Yes,
Amala would have that much hype? I know there's a section of the social media that judge Amala, but then Amala is not a very, very beautiful looking food. And you could see
yeah.
the hype on it. So I feel like if proper nutrition education backs up this indigenous food and their creative presentation, food bloggers do a lot in presenting our food in a very beautiful way. There's a particular food blogger that even does like um, I'm trying to remember what he does. He reviews food. We can have a nutrition blogger like that that just review food for their nutrients. So we can get creative with education. I don't think it's a lost cause. And we even have a health conscious population right now. So it's something that if nutrition is keen to it, we can change the perception of people.
Yeah, so I feel like it's a really important sector because just this AFCON that they were doing, there was a whole section of Twitter that was up in arms because some players were eating pounded yam. And like they genuinely thought it was a problem.
Problem.
So I think it's something that we really need to address. Yeah. So, what message would you pass to the youth in regards to food and nutrition? What is one key thing that you want everyone to hold at heart?
Okay, for those that are passionate about nutrition, I would just say that even though the nutrition sector is young, don't don't leave nutrition. Stay in nutrition. It's young, but it's growing, it's budding, and I feel like even if nutritionists feel like there are no opportunities yet, opportunities are still going to come. But are we going to be ready when these opportunities come? So I feel like if you're passionate about nutrition, food is a universal thing. People will always eat, and food is important not just to feed
Yes.
hunger, but also for our health. So it can never go out of vogue. I feel like if people are, if you're passionate about nutrition and you really want to stay in this sector, stay in this sector. Build, be creative, be very creative because we're going to need a lot of creativity as we go on. Be very innovative, and yes, the opportunities will come and will make genuine impact along the line. So that's what I have to say to you, nutritionists. So
Okay.
don't lose hope. Don't think it's an hopeless situation. Don't think because it's young. And I also always say that because nutrition is young, a lot of people in this generation that stay in the nutrition space will most likely become pace setters for different sector in nutrition. So what you're doing now that it looks like you don't have somebody to look up to, you don't have somebody that has done all these things before, you're probably the first person doing it. Yes, you're going to become a trailblazer at it. So just keep building, keep setting the pace. Nutrition sector is here to stay and is going to blossom. So just stay in it and get creative and be innovative and truly solve genuine problems. Solve genuine problems in nutrition.
All right. Thank you for that. Agriculture and food production is one of the most important areas of nutrition, but in Nigeria and in Africa generally, the situation of the agriculture sector is not really inviting to the youth. What do you think can be done
I
about
feel
this?
they need to stop guilt tripping youth to even go into agriculture in the first place. Every time I see, oh, the youth don't want to go into the agriculture, we're going to be hungry, I get angry all over because agric is not easy. It is not, even for the people that are there already, it
Yes,
is
it's
not
not.
easy. Let's not joke. So I feel like if the government or the organizations really want youth to get into agric, I think it needs to be portrayed as a business. So let's stop talking about agric as an emotional thing. Let's talk about the business part of it. So the youth are coming in to grow rice, to grow the joint livestock production. How much profit are they going to be making? Let's talk about business. Let's make it business. And it is also important that you need to put the amenities in place. The first thing, the first amenity we need in Nigeria, if I'm talking about Nigeria only, is security. We need to solve this security issue because that's the first thing.
Yes,
Nobody wants to die because of a Greek. Nobody wants to die because
yes,
um, they want to make they don't want hunger to kill us. So we need to stop guilt tripping and just get to work. Let's solve insecurity first. And youth are I was talking about the issue of farm estates. I feel like if you put youth in a place where they have access to electricity, access to data, to internet, access to good water, a serene environment, and they have their farms close by, they will stay and farm. But you want a youth to go from the urban area to the rural area where there's no network because he wants to farm, and you think he will be very motivated to do that, disconnected from his friends, disconnected from the social space, and he's not even making profit. And by the time he even finish the whole farming thing, herdsmen will come and they will eat everything, and he's at a loss, and he has
yes,
even borrowed money. So what are we even talking about? Why are we guilt tripping youth to get into agri? No, let's get to work. If you really want the youth to get into it, make it a profitable business venture to them, not an emotional thing. Put the facilities in place and see whether you want to do business or not. They'd rather go into tech, they'd rather go into much more profitable ventures because they don't see agric as profitable. So for me, I feel like agribusiness is the way, not even just agriculture. Let's talk about agribusiness. And I don't think everybody has to go into food production. You could go into processing. It doesn't have to be food production. You could go into the logistics of transporting or connecting farmers to even the markets in the urban areas. You could go into cold chain supply, helping them to get it across. It doesn't just have to be going to the rural farm where there's no network, because yes, it's emotional to feed people. No, I feel like we need to start talking about agriculture like a business, and let's see whether youth will join or not.
Yeah, that's very well said. You said, first of all, agric needs to be portrayed as the money-making venture that it actually is. Then infrastructure needs to be put in place to make it actually work. And then youth need to find creative ways to join the agribusiness sector. Yes, all right. Oh, yeah, someone says plugging to the food value chain is also important. Yes, I agree with that. All right, Adejoke, before we round up today, can you tell us your five favorite African or Nigerian foods?
Five favorite Nigerian foods. Okay, I like anything beans.
Yes.
Maybe that's why I'm this tall. I like anything beans. I can eat beans with literally
Yes.
anything. Beans and maize is like my best. Beans and maize. I like bread and beans. I like rice and beans cooked together. Anything beans, basically. I like beans. Then, of course, I'm from Ibadan. So, an Ibadan person that does not like amala, I don't know what to call that person. It's probably a foreign Ibadan person. So, I like amala. I
Yes.
like amala with ewedu. That's my second best. And of course, I like jollof rice. As a Nigerian, I like jollof rice so much. I like it a lot. I prefer it to fried rice. I don't like fried rice. Okay,
Okay.
so those are like my three main foods that I really, really like. Oh yeah, we're talking about fruit. I like agbalumo definitely. Oh, and it's the season
I
now.
was waiting for
It's
you to
the
mention that.
season. Agbalumo is my best fruit. I can go on and on about it, why I like it so much. I mean, it's a very mysterious fruit. You cannot just pick it and expect it to be sweet. You have to be smart to pick the sweet one. And then when you pick the sweet one, the satisfaction that comes with it. Agbalumo is not your regular fruit. I know there's a lot of hate on agbalumo. I don't care. It's also rich in vitamin C. So what are we even talking about? And it's small and potent. So I like agbalumo. I don't want to go on and on about it. And the good thing is I even know how to pick the sweet ones. So yes, I wish I could do a mini tutorial on that, but I'll skip that part. I know how to pick the sweet ones because everyone is always complaining about agbalumo being very unpredictable. The seller tells you it's
Unpredictable.
sweet,
Yes.
and then you buy it and it's something else. One key thing is anytime you want to buy agbalumo, once it has a green ring on it around the stem on top, once there's a green coloration around, it's definitely going to be sour. So don't pick that one. If it's red, if it's really red, even at the stalk area, yes, that's the sweet one. I ended up doing that tutorial.
Thank
That's
you
the
for
sweet
the
one.
tip. Yes.
Okay.
Have you tried any food from a different African country?
Have I? No, I haven't, but I'll be willing to try. I like to experiment with food also. I like to really experiment with food. And I've seen some Ghanaian foods online that I feel I might like to try because I'm a variety person. I don't like eating just one food. If I want to eat my rice, there has to be beans, there has to be plantain, there has to be egg. I mean, I like eating variety. I don't like eating boring food. And I noticed that the Ghanaian food is kind of a variety. They like variety. If you check the plates, there's so much going on. I think I would like to try something from Ghana for now.
Okay, so let's say we put that on your bucket
Yes,
list
I
for
should. I
2022.
should. I can't remember one last food
Yeah.
that I like though. I can't remember. But I know there's one food I should like, but I can't
Okay.
remember for now.
All right. So thank you very, very much for your time. Thank you for joining us for the Twitch chat this morning and for this Instagram live. It's been a delight having you and learning from
You're
you.
welcome.
Um, audience members, does anyone have any questions for Adejoke to answer before she leaves? Let me see. There's nothing in the question tag.
Somebody's saying, please teach us. Meet the food doctor. I just taught you how to pick the sweet of agbalumo. You want me to repeat it again? I can go on and on about it. It's something I'm passionate about. I think I should put up a blog post about it because it's a
Yes, you
national
should.
problem. It's a national problem. Okay.
All right. In the absence of any questions, I think I should let you go now. Thank you very, very much for speaking with me today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alima. Thank you so much for everybody that joined in. It's a pleasure being here. Have a good day, everyone.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for joining. Have a good rest of your day.